Hey everyone, and welcome. Today we are digging into something that is absolutely everywhere, from your favorite coffee shop to the biggest tech companies in the world. It's this invisible force that makes everything work. We're talking, of course, about management, and we're going to break down exactly what it is and why it's so important.
So let me ask you this. Have you ever been on a team where everything just felt right? Projects are humming along, the energy is amazing, and you're just knocking goals out of the park. What is that secret sauce? What makes a team like that really click?
Well, I can tell you it's not some kind of magic, and it's definitely not just luck. That hidden structure, that driving force behind all that success, it has a name. And yep, it's management.
All right, so let's get right into it. What is this invisible force really? Let's try and pin down a clear definition.
Okay, here's the textbook definition, but let's break it down. The most important words here, by far, are through and with others. See, management isn't about being the superstar who does everything themselves. Nope. It's about being the coach, the conductor, who brings the whole team together to hit that goal. And the best managers do this efficiently. That's doing things right. And effectively, which means doing the right things to begin with.
And you have to remember, management isn't a one-time thing. It's always goal-oriented, always pushing for something. It's pervasive, meaning it's literally everywhere. Hospitals, tech startups, film sets, you name it. And it's continuous. It's an ongoing group activity, a constant process of coordination.
Which brings us to this classic, age-old debate. Is management a science or is it an art? Well, the real answer is it's both. It's a science because, yeah, there are proven principles and theories you can study, but it's an art because you need that human touch, that creativity and personal skill to actually apply those ideas to real situations with complex, unpredictable people.
Okay, so we've got a handle on what management is. Now let's switch gears and talk about who the manager is.
Just think of it like a ladder. Way up at the top, you have the visionaries, the CEOs, the board, who are thinking 5-10 years down the road. Then, in the middle, you have the translators. These are your department heads, and their job is to take that big, grand vision and turn it into actual plans for the next quarter. And finally, down at the bottom, you have the doers, the supervisors, the foremen, the people on the ground, making sure the day-to-day work gets done right.
Now, this is where things can get a little fuzzy for people. We throw around the words manager and leader like they're the same thing. But are they?
This table really lays it out perfectly. A manager focuses on the systems, the structure, the plans. Their job is to make sure the train runs on time. Their authority comes from their title. A leader, though, is focused on inspiring people. They're the one who sets the vision and decides which station the train is even going to. Their authority comes from their personal influence. Now, you can be a manager without being a leader, and vice versa. But the truly great ones, they are absolutely both.
So, no matter where you are on that ladder, what are the essential skills you need in your toolkit to actually be successful?
Well, a researcher named Robert Katz nailed it down to 3 key skills. You've got technical skills, that's knowing your stuff, being an expert in your field. Then there are conceptual skills, that's the ability to see the big picture. And then you have human skills, being able to communicate, motivate, and just plain work well with people. And here's the real kicker. Human skills are absolutely vital at every single level.
And you can see how the balance shifts right here on this chart. When you're at a lower level, your technical skill, being the best accountant or the best engineer, is super important. But as you climb that ladder, your conceptual skill, your ability to see how all the different parts of the company fit together, that becomes the most important tool you have. But listen, these ideas didn't just pop out of nowhere. To really understand management today, we have to look back at 3 founding fathers who basically built the whole foundation.
First on our list is Henry Fayol. The best way to think of him is as the architect. He was focused on designing the overall structure of the entire organization. Fayol gave us these core principles we still live by. For instance, unity of command just means you should only have one direct boss. Pretty simple, right? It prevents that total chaos of getting different orders from different people. And esprit de corps is basically a fancy French term for team spirit. The powerful idea that a manager's job is to build morale and a real sense of togetherness. All right, next up is F.W. Taylor, who we can call the scientist. So if Fayol was drawing the blueprint for the whole building, Taylor was zooming in with a microscope on each individual brick. Taylor was completely obsessed with efficiency. He famously used time and motion studies to find the one best way to do any given task. And you can still see his influence today in everything from an Amazon warehouse
to the way a fast food kitchen is set up to make a burger in seconds.
And finally, our third thinker is Max Weber, the rule maker. He looked at these huge new organizations popping up and asked a simple question: how do we make them run fairly and predictably? His answer was what he called bureaucracy. Now, I know, that word has a really bad reputation these days. We think of red tape. But for Weber, it was an ideal. A clear chain of command, formal rules, and decisions based on logic, not emotion. It meant you got ahead because you were good at your job, not just because you were friends with the boss. It's the foundation of fairness in modern business. So you see, when you put it all together, from the architects to the scientists to the rule makers, you get this. Management is that essential framework that lets us take a bunch of disorganized energy and ideas, that raw chaos, and turn it into real, actual achievement. Which brings us back around to one last really big question. After all of this, what's it really about? Is management all about designing the perfect system and the most efficient process, or is it really about understanding, motivating, and connecting with people? And the answer, of course, is yes. It's both. Great management is the art and the science of building the right structures and inspiring the people inside them. Finding that perfect balance, that is the daily challenge and the ultimate reward of being a great manager. Thanks so much for joining me on this